Welcome to Atlanta News First, Behind the Investigation. I'm investigative reporter Andy Parati, and joining me now is Harry. As you may know him as Better Call Harry. You're an investigative consumer reporter in Metro Atlanta for 20 plus years. How you doing, Harry?
You're telling people how old I am. Can we start over? Yes, I've been doing this for a long time. Actually, I'm here in Atlanta 28 years now, so I think officially that makes me a native.
I think so, just barely. Well, your investigation is going to take us on the road. You're going to tell us about this issue involving a car, multiple vehicles, where there may not be a fix. There's a problem with these vehicles, but there may not be a fix until next year. Tell us about it.
Yeah, you know, when recalls go out in this case it was Ford, you expect when the recall goes out about a problem with the car that there's a solution or a replacement part or bring it in because the airbag is bad. But in this case, and this impacts over 100,000 Ford owners who own the EcoSport with the 1-liter engine. So we were contacted by this woman who said, yeah, I knew about the recall and then my car broke down, but they don't have the replacement part yet for it. I can't get it fixed. I can't sell it. I can't trade it in. So it's basically just sitting in my garage, and yet I'm still responsible for car payments. And I'm thinking somebody's got to do something about that.
Vanessa Stevens' 2019 Ford EcoSport is not supposed to be here. It's a nice looking car. It's clean and well maintained.
I've always had Fords because I think they're reliable.
And it should be on the road. But the engine is shot. It happened 3 months ago as Vanessa drove to work.
It's slowing down ever so slowly and slowly and slowly and slowly. So now my oil light pops up. So I'm thinking I need an oil change.
She'd need more than that. Ford issued a recall about the 1-liter engines in its 2016 through 2022 Ford EcoSport and its cousin, the Ford Focus. The oil drive belt tensioner arm may fracture or separate, causing a loss of vehicle power and power braking assist, increasing the risk of a crash. That's what happened. You know what else happened? Vanessa lost the only lifeline she had to her mom 300 miles away in South Carolina.
Yeah. The stress is my mother. She's 88 years old. She's in full-on dementia, progressing. So that's where my fear lies, not being able to get to her in a timely manner. So she depends on me for everything, even though I'm here in Georgia 4 hours away.
Oh, she got there.
Hey, Mr. Harry, good afternoon. It's Vanessa, just letting you know that I'm on my way out with my auntie and my mom.
Vanessa spent $700 on a rental. Back home, she pays for ride shares. The total with rental cars, $2,000.
It adds up.
It adds up.
What about repairs? Ford doesn't have one. The recall says replacement parts won't be available until 2025. And there are no loaner cars for this situation.
They don't give out loaner cars because they don't know how long it will take for them to receive the part.
She can't trade the car, can't sell it, but she has to make her car payments. So how many Vanessas are in the same car? Ford did not respond to us. However, a Ford representative called Vanessa the same day to offer a resolution. And 5-star Ford in Stone Mountain confirmed that Ford Motor Company would pay for a new engine. The dealership towed her car back to the shop and 3 weeks later returned it with a brand new engine courtesy of Ford Motor Company.
This is a trick question. Do you think this would have happened if we hadn't gotten involved?
No, absolutely not. Not at all. Nope. No. I still would have been stressed out, still calling them every day, getting updates, trying to speak to someone in the higher ups. So no, not at all.
Plus, Ford offered reimbursement for the rentals and ride shares. Added up, and it equals relief.
You said you wanted to hug the car. Did you want to do that now?
Yes, this is my car. I missed my baby. I'm glad to have her back. It's a blessing. It's a true blessing.
Well, geez, Harry.
Well, look, she's happy that the car that she's got the car back and it's got a new engine. I do want to point out, in Ford's defense, they did not respond at first, and then right before the story aired, after we emailed them and contacted them through their media press relations office, they responded 12 days later after we said, hey, the story's running tomorrow. And then all of a sudden, everything was changing. And then all of a sudden, the car is back at the dealership. And they also pointed out that they issued a technical service bulletin. So that's not something that you and I would see.
Yeah.
That goes to the dealership. And they were saying to us that, hey, look, we sent out this technical service bulletin to the dealerships back in June, telling them as a temporary repair, we'll give you a new engine for this car. And I'm like, okay, but what about the website? Because on the website, it just says parts won't be available until next year. And they were supposed to be available this year, and it just kind of got pushed back.
Yeah.
And now on top of all of this, Andy, there's a lawsuit. There's a class action lawsuit over this.
Where does that stand?
Right now, Ford tried to have it dismissed. We do have the lawsuit on our website, but as of today, that case is moving forward, and it's all over the design flaws with the engine, and people complaining about how, if the oil pump goes and the belt goes and the belt tensioner, I believe this one, I'm sure they'll correct me if I'm wrong, is inside the engine. I know when we went looking for it, it's like, where's the belt? And I believe it's inside. So the accusation is that there is some sort of defect.
Yeah.
Ford is addressing it. However, we still have situations like this, and it's really frustrating for people.
One of the most memorable parts of the story was hearing from Vanessa Stevens talk about how she simply can't go see her mom without spending hundreds of dollars. I mean, I think you added it all up, it was around $2,000. But that moment where she says, I can't see my mom that needs me. She has dementia. She's several hours away. I think that really hits it home of the impact when these things happen. It's not just an inconvenience. It's a situation where this woman may not have been able to see her mom, who may not be around very much longer. I imagine that really was a strain.
That was tough. I mean, that was really, as we sat down and talked, and then she kind of revealed that during the interview. You
So
never
glad
know
you kept that in.
Yeah, you never know what's going to happen until you kind of get into the interview with somebody. And so she starts bringing up her mom. And I'm like, so are you going there? How are you getting there? And she's like, oh, I'm renting a car.
Wow.
So she did, and we asked her to send some videos to us from the town in South Carolina where she lives, tiny little town. And she was able to get there. But she was also talking about having to rent a car to go to her son's college graduation. So there was another $300 or $400. And you kind of understand the dealership's point of view on this one, in that they're not a rental car agency. Yeah, they have a certain amount of loaners,
Right.
but they can't give somebody a loaner knowing that there's no date on the fix.
How'd you hear about this story?
It was an email that came into our investigative unit, and just like anything else, you take a look at it, and then once you start diving in, you realize there's a whole lot more there, because again, at least 135,000 vehicles on the road with this 1-liter engine.
You've done dozens, probably hundreds of stories similar to this one, where it involves a car company, they're not doing the right thing. I mean, other than calling you in circumstances like Vanessa's, what would you tell people to do?
That's a tough one. On this one, I kind of felt like the only answer to this story is media involvement.
Or hiring an attorney.
Or getting in on the class action lawsuit. But, you get into a class action lawsuit.
Years it will take for you to get a resolution.
And then
potentially,
what's the resolution? How much are you going to get versus what goes to the attorneys and how it's all set? People can't wait. And you also have to remember that you also have to pay insurance.
Mm-hmm. All during that time.
All during that time.
Yeah.
So I'm glad we were able to help. Even though a fix was already issued, it just took us pushing a little bit. I would say to somebody, keep fighting. If you have this issue, you can ask the dealership, and also get online and start doing your research.
Yeah.
Because we found out about the lawsuit just by Googling it. Oh, wait, there's a class action. So the squeaky wheel eventually gets the grease.
Right.
There's my point. It is true.
Document, document,
Yep.
document. Harry Sandler, thank you so much for taking us behind the curtain on another one of your fascinating investigations. You can watch more of Harry's investigations and listen to our podcast. You can find all of that with links on our website, atlantanewsfirst.com.